Erica Mann is a lady who goes down in history as the brains behind the master plan of the city of Nairobi. She also helped in planning Mombasa and other cities. Now, in a profession that is known to be male-dominated, women have come in and taken up this profession in terms of urban planning and town development. With us is one urban planner. She is Juliet Rita. It's great to have you with us. Juliet, when did you decide to take up this profession?
Planning came to me by coincidence because I joined public university, Nairobi University, and that's where I first took the first degree in planning. And then after that I made a conscious decision to further and specialize in planning, in transportation planning, where I took my master's in the University of Stuttgart, Germany.
For how long have you been an urban planner?
Over 10 years now.
Okay. And how has the experience been so far?
So far, I enjoy planning. I love it, and it's actually my passion other than being a career.
Okay. Take us through your itinerary in a normal day as an urban planner. How does it look like?
Well, it depends on what kind of a project you're handling, because a project comes to us in various forms and magnitude. You can have a small development, a small project in terms of, say, a residential building, where you normally then you just go to site, prepare a report, and help the client process planning approvals like change of use at the county government. Or you can have a high magnitude project where you're part of a team with other specialists. And this could be a project of big magnitude like infrastructure projects, say a road project, an airport project. And that would require more of your input in the field and not basically just sitting in the office.
All right. So that's how your normal day looks like for the past 10 years.
For a normal day is most of the times you're out in the field with very minimum time in the office preparing report.
Being a lady who is an urban planner, what are some of the challenges you've faced?
The main challenge has been getting like an acknowledgement that you can do the work from the society, because they expect to see a grown man coming to do the technical work. So when you turn up as a young lady, then people are turning to you like, are you sure you can be able to deliver? So those are some of the challenges, because over and above then you have to do extra work to prove that you can do it in the industry.
How have you been able to overcome such?
Mastering my profession. And taking up projects that I am sure that I can deliver, and I deliver them very effectively and efficiently to the clients.
Mm-hmm. Why do you think there are few urban planners who are ladies?
It's more of a perception, because people out there, especially when they are choosing a career, people are not well informed of even the role an urban planner plays. And also, women are more afraid of joining professionals in the construction industry. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are
there any achievements, I'm sure there must be, which you have gotten so far in the last 10 years? Tell us about that.
So, my achievements, I would more or less package them in terms of the projects that I've been able to do. And one key project I've done here in Kenya is participated in the Kenya Informal Settlement Improvement Project, which is a project funded by the World Bank under the KISI program in the Ministry of Lands. And here was actually a deputy team leader, where we looked into the settlement in terms of how we can provide better infrastructure and improve their livelihoods per se. Also, the other key projects that I've been able to participate, I've also taken part in the Southern Bypass feasibility study. I know most of you don't know, but an urban planner also plays a big role in infrastructure projects. Yes. And that's some of the projects that I've been able to undertake so far.
Okay. When we look at Nairobi and other cities, you can see that there's quite an uncontrolled growth development. How has that affected urban development?
The situation here in Nairobi is that we have very minimum to no planning. Yes. Because first of all, we're using an outdated plan. There is a draft which was prepared for the city, a new plan, but more or less over the years we've had development taking place without planning. So basically planners have failed in terms of catching up with development trends, anticipating what needs are coming up in terms of developments, and that's why we have so much of uncontrolled development.
Where are we going wrong in terms of urban planning then, if people are not doing what they should be doing?
Planning has been put aside, so you find the budget which is allocated to planners is not adequate for them to prepare plans for towns and urban areas. And this has consequences when you go back to even individual developments. Some of these things are interlinked and we can't run away anymore from planning. It's a high time that the government put an allocation for preparation of plans for our urban areas.
When we look at the Constitution, what provisions are there in terms of urban, town and county planning, and are these being followed? If not, why?
In fact, planning is one of the professions which is recognized right at the Constitution, because at the beginning of the Constitution you find in Article 10 we have the issue of sustainable development mentioned, and we cannot have sustainable development if we don't plan our cities, because where is this planning going to take place? In unplanned cities, it's not going to be unsustainable. Also, when you go to other articles, you find that the government, the national government, is empowered to coordinate planning and development right at all levels, at the national level and at the county levels. And the county governments are also empowered right from the Constitution. And that's what also is entrenched in the Act, the County Government Act, which also goes further to emphasize the need for planning. So we are recognized right from the Constitution and down to the other acts of Parliament.
When we look at urbanization and urban centers, we will see that there are many women who come in the informal sector. You know, when you look at markets in Nairobi or any other urban center, there are many women who are there. What kind of role do they play in terms of urban dynamism? Because they come in from an informal sector, and that is also coming in terms of urbanization. How do they play a role in that?
They play a very key role, and not only the women, but basically, let me just get into the informal sector as a whole, because it's a sector that we have ignored for so long. Yet the statistics are even showing us that over 80% of Kenyans are employed in the informal sector. And the informal sector, mainly you find what we call as juakani in the urban areas. These are people that have very special needs that we are not catering to them. Instead, we are pushing them away from our cities. So I would say it's a high time as planners and as well as other professionals and the county government that we took an interest in the informal sector and see how we can integrate these people into the urban fabric and intermarry them into our economy, because they are playing a very key, significant role in terms of generating employment and jobs, and this is the future of Kenya, basically.
Do you feel that there is so much influence in terms of bringing in revitalization in city centers, and then we seemingly forget the local communities? We're trying to bring in foreign business, foreign investors, but then what happens to the local communities? What can you say about that?
So you can look at it as both an opportunity and also as a challenge, because some of these foreign investors, we've had a provision in the budget which was made recently, and it provides basically incentives for them to come and set up their industries and manufacturing plants in Kenya. The aim of the government when they are doing this is to create employment. But the way I look at it in terms of an opportunity also for the local community is how the local community can take up the role, the opportunities which are coming up with the foreign investors. If you can work with an international company, well and good. You may have a resource that they're looking for in terms of land, in terms of man labor, and that's also one of the areas that us as planners, we can inform you as a local person. Maybe you have land that you're looking at ways of investing. You don't have to put up flats. you can actually lease out your land or get into partnership with a company that is looking for setup here in the country. So there are lots of opportunities.
It's just the way you probably
It's the way you look at it.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell us how climate change affects urban development. When it rains or in terms of drainage, tell us about that and what are urban planners doing to curb that?
As planners, we come up with the plans for the city. We guide the development. When you look at how you position your buildings, what kind of buildings that you have, planners actually have a lot of power. We can dictate even if you have flat roofs or whether you require to leave a way for drainage of water. We also can dictate even the colors of your buildings and how high your buildings can go. So we can have a very significant role to play in terms of climate change control and basically management of climate change.
Okay, does urban governance support that in this country?
It's a challenge for us planners when you're working out there, because in as much as you have these very good ideas, the urban governance as it is controlled mainly by politicians. We are looking at a scenario that you have to send your concept to the MCAs, you have to send your concept to the governor.
Yet you have an upper hand.
Yes.
You know what is needed.
So it's a challenge because you're dealing with people who are looking at the immediate gains and not the long-term gains that you'll get in 20, 25 years to come.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then moving forward, what are we expecting in terms of urban planning, in terms of town development? The population is growing, so we're not becoming fewer, we're actually becoming more. What should we expect?
In terms of moving forward with urban planning, we have a great opportunity. It's yet another term that we are going to have elections, new people in government. We are seeing a lot of changes in the county governments which have been empowered immensely to undertake planning. So I would call on to the county government and incoming governors to take the issue of planning very seriously. We are here to help. AAK is here. We are ready to provide planners to prepare plans for your counties, and this will form a basis for basically the way moving forward as a country in terms of achieving sustainable development and economic growth.
Right, great conversation there with Juliet, an urban planner here in Nairobi. And as you've heard, the role of an urban planner is very crucial in terms of development, organization, and even management. So we definitely hope that they will be given more support even in years to come.